Welcome. This is the episode of the Bewitch Collective where we are talking about how to inspire your king or how to activate a man to really embody that divine masculine energy, which is the counterpart to your divine feminine. And how do you navigate that when you're wanting your partner to really step into traits like courage, strength, decisiveness, centeredness? You want to be with a you want to be with a masculine energy man, right? Does that make sense when I say that? We all love a sensitive, artistic guy, a romantic guy. But sometimes they're really in their feminine energy. We're going to find that a lot as well in the spiritual community, because there is, of course, going to be a higher motivation to step into that spiritual path when you're highly sensitive as an individual. We're going to find a lot of feminine energy men. And that doesn't really turn us on in that chemical way where we're wanting to feel the polarity with someone who's in their divine masculine, so that we get to lean back even more into our feminine and experiment with what that looks like in relationship. And I promise you, it's really juicy. It's really amazing. So I have so many notes here. I have 5 pages of notes typed. So we're going to get through this, hopefully, I think in like half an hour, 40 minutes. And then I really encourage you to DM me or email me. Let me know if you have any questions after watching this video. And I'm happy to continue the conversation with you, continue the conversation. So, we just feel more activated and alive in our bodies when we feel that there's a man who has the ability to protect you, to provide for you, and to pursue you and be in more of that active energy. And that just feels really good. That makes it feel very clear what they're wanting in relationship. They're more decisive. We want to feel protected. We want to feel safe. We want to feel like we can relax. And there's someone there who's holding structure and who's holding security and stability in the relationship. And we really want to be provided for, so that, again, we have the ability to rest and recharge and be in our feminine energy, to nurture our own garden so it can really blossom by doing the things that are nourishing for us, mind, body, and spirit. And that is going to make us even more intuitive. It's going to make us better partners, better mothers. And a masculine energy man who is a conscious man can see the priceless value in that, and providing in order to create the conditions for that to continue, because he really feels your value. He feels that you are a warm space, a safe space, a supportive space in his life, because you're well resourced enough to provide that in return for him. I'm just going to take a sip of water. I hope you guys are getting excited so far. I'm going to bring the mic a little bit closer. And how do we activate that king inside of him? Because every man has that potential inside of him. It's about whether the conditions are correct. It's about whether he's willing to do that work and to take action in that way. And some men have to get to a different place in life where they feel genuinely motivated to do that, and maybe they never will. But I believe that the potential is always there, and you can, as a woman, play a very, very important and valuable role in activating that in him and sustaining that in him as well. And, that is going to motivate him to provide for you more, to protect you, to pursue you in terms of making you feel special, like the queen, whether, your love language is gifts or your love language is physical touch. He's there to make sure that you are feeling full in the ways that really make you feel loved and in love in the relationship. Okay, this is about him, having those romantic gestures, keeping them alive in the relationship. It's about him showing up as an even better dad or male figure in your community, and the other areas of his life where his masculine energy is also very important, in his community, in his workplace. So it's going to bring so many rewards back into your life as well. And this is not about playing any kind of game to mind fuck a man into being in that role for you. This is not about potions or spells or hypnotizing men to do what you want them to do, because ultimately we can never get a man to do anything. As soon as we step into that realm, we are in our masculine energy, and he's not going to like it because it's just going to be repellent, energy. Those magnets are going to just keep pushing against each other. The feminine energy is the polarity to that masculine energy, and he's just going to be in a better place to be the problem solver in the situation, which is what you want anyway, if you can relax and remain in your feminine energy. And he's just going to naturally feel inspired to really show up for you in the ways that you need in the relationship. So we're not using this to manipulate a man or get him to do something very specific for us that we want him to do. We really have to let that go. This is about inspiring the man. And you know what? It's not always going to work 100%. But if you do what I'm about to teach you for 6 months and you notice a difference, then I would encourage you to continue. Okay, all of these tools are for good and not for evil. So my teacher says that, and so I like to say that too. And, this is the thing about beautiful women inside and out who seem to have incredible long-term relationships with men. And they know what I'm about to talk to you about now. And it's going to help you not just at the beginning of the relationship when you are becoming more interesting to him and you are allowing him to pursue you in a way that feels exciting for him. This is also going to apply to the long-term relationships, the marriages, the 10, 15 year, 20-year marriages. These tools that I'm going to teach you, these tips, can help you retain chemistry, reactivate chemistry, and it's going to help you get through difficult times in life and in your relationship, and it's just going to keep things sexy and keep them fun, yeah, as Beyonce says on Lemonade in that song. But you can keep it sexy, keep it fun, and have it feel good for you, have it feel good for him, retain that chemistry, retain that bond, that collaboration, that sense of teamwork. That's really important in a relationship and very important for a man, to feel like he has a valuable place and role on the team. And not only that, but he's the leader of the team. And so you have to pick a very, very good captain to be the leader of the team. Okay, that's on you. That's on you to be discerning in your choices of the kind of men that you want to have in your life, and you being able to really embody that value and that sense of self-worth and self-value, that you won't settle or compromise for anything else. Okay. And please don't think that I am telling you about all of this like I've always known this, always been good at this, because I absolutely haven't. And I really had to learn through a lot of trial and error and get messing up and getting things wrong and being in my masculine energy a lot. I have a lot of masculine energy. And I never really had a safe space to develop my feminine energy. Um, and also, I think I'm the eldest, eldest child, eldest daughter. There's just a different kind of conditioning that comes with that, where you are a planner and an action taker. Um, and so I know you guys who are the eldest daughters can relate to that, but so many of you are dynamite women who are excellent at your job, and you are a leader, and you have a lot of really powerful energy inside of you. And so you might end up, as a result of that, naturally attracting more feminine energy men into your life, because you're also bringing that energy into the relationship, the planning, the preparing, the structure. And not only that, but you're feeling burnt out and exhausted because of that, because that's not the role you're supposed to be in. And so that's absolutely happened to me. And I've had many, many relationships like that. And I have been also very overgiving in relationship. Putting his needs before mine has been a huge pattern for me that I've really had to work on. Also, financially giving way too much, like really taking this like 50-50 we're equals thing a little too far. And also then, because of being the boss babe modern woman that I am, paying for things that I just had no business ever paying for. And seeing my financial situation, shift as a result of that. And over giving financially, over pleasing, yes, people pleasing, and then also just being in my feminine energy, masculine energy, when it came to planning trips, booking flights, tracking budgets. It wasn't that I wanted to do those things either, by the way. It was just that I was the one who had the capability to do it, because I was with men who were so much in their feminine energy, so much in their passive energy, that I was worried that things wouldn't get done unless I would do them. Ew. We're done with that. You have to choose a man who can take care of those things for you. And if he can't, then he has to be a very fast learner. And that's just how, I've come to really understand that I have to look out for my needs, and if I'm not going to, no one else is. And I've definitely had to learn that the hard way. But the beautiful thing is that men can bring so much into our lives, and really take like that burden, that weight of so much action out of our lives that should really be in their domain, and they need to feel inspired and activated to do that by you. And so we're going to talk about that. I promise we're going to talk about that. Even now, I have to say that, Sean, my husband, is one of the most masculine energy guys that I've been with. And he does have a lot of masculine energy. He's a man's man. He does all the things in terms of fixing anything that breaks. He's the one who's always driving me everywhere. He is even right now, he's leading a wilderness retreat for young men, teaching them how to go out into nature and survive. So I really love these masculine energy traits that Sean has. And it's great that he does other things. He cooks and he cleans, so it's like that's very helpful, and that's a type of action taking that I really appreciate. If he's gonna get up early to put in the first load of laundry, that's just great. So I on in one area though have been very much in my masculine energy in the relationship, and that is in terms of finances. And I have been financially providing in my marriage for the entire duration of the marriage. And things are changing right now, which is amazing, but it wouldn't be happening without these tools and what I'm about to teach you today. Being in your financial provider energy is going to put you in your masculine energy in the relationship. And if you are stressed about money, you're worried about money, of course, that's going to completely sabotage, your ability to show up. If you're in survival, if you're in scarcity, you cannot be your best self. So even making enough money to be able to comfortably provide for us, it didn't feel good. At the end of the day, it's like, oh, you imagine like, oh, if I'm just making so much money, it's okay if I can pay for things. Like, I'm happy to share with my family. Like you get there and it just still doesn't feel right, because you should be taken care of and provided for in certain ways. And that just activates your feminine energy. And that activation of your feminine energy is so essential. And you really have to advocate for that. And it's just going to make the whole relationship so much better. So, depending on where you are in terms of how you split things financially with your partner, like it can be a really interesting conversation to like reimagine what that can look like so that you are more in your feminine energy. And so, even over the last 2.5 years, it's like, how have I, dealt with the situation of being the financial provider and marrying a man and him moving to a completely new country to be with me, and to suddenly be in a country that is one of the most expensive countries in the world, and to have a wife who has a certain expectation of being provided for, and the kind of the lifestyle that I expect in a marriage. And Sean stepped into all of that, and at the same time, was needing from me that he become a provider above and beyond anything he's done before for any other woman, especially when he's, pretty laid back, chill guy, right? And he is just surfing, and, he's not, stacking money, right? So coming into the relationship, this was just a very real aspect of things that we had to approach this. And I promise that the tools that I'm teaching you in the relationship in the course today helped my relationship to the point of now, Sean's gonna be making twice as much as I do. I expect that to continue as my own business continues. And, he's willing to show up and do that, even if it means, working with difficult people or difficult climates, or traveling for work and being away from me, being away from home. All of that is something that he's happy and willing and excited to do for the relationship. And it gives me so much peace of mind. And I would not have been able to do it without these 4 main principles. So we're about to get into the juice of the masterclass today, and there are 4 main principles. And I promise you, if you practice these, if you put a date on the calendar 6 months from now and you pledge that you practice these things, then I promise you that you're going to start to notice positive changes. And I would even encourage you to put that date on the calendar for 60 days from now, and to have a journal where every day you write down something that you've noticed that has changed, or some evidence or proof of how these tools are helping to transform your relationship, whether it's at the very beginning and you're just getting to know a man and you're really wanting him to pursue you and protect you and provide for you, in those early stages of getting to know someone, in those early stages of courtship, or if you have been in a relationship with a man for quite a while and you're just wanting to infuse it with more of this polarity, more of this dynamic. It's really amazing if you can use these tools very early on in the relationship, because it just sets an expectation that's, it's like easier to hold that than it is to get into a certain pattern with a man and then start to change it. But I promise you, all it takes is time. So things can definitely turn around. Um, and so these are the four main principles that I want to talk about today. We're going to go into a little bit, go into each one a little bit and get you really clued in on what is important, why these principles are important, and then also what are some practical everyday examples of how these principles operate in your relationship, and what are some little tools or examples that are really going to help you apply this starting now, so that you can start to see immediate changes and transformation. So number one, challenge your man. Challenge him. Challenge him to be the best version of who he is. We want to give a man a call to action because naturally he is a problem solver, and masculine energy is problem solving energy. So give him a challenge, give him a problem to solve. And if you do this correctly, he will want to rise and meet that challenge. If you do that incorrectly, he's going to drag his feet and you're going to become his mom. So really, really important that we talk about how to challenge a man so that he feels activated, he feels empowered, he feels like the problem solver, and he is going to get so much payoff and so much personal esteem and spiritual growth and personal growth. And he's going to enjoy becoming a more conscious man. He's going to enjoy becoming a better version of himself, a higher version of himself. He's going to enjoy that challenge because it's part of his instinct. Just like there are certain animals, right, that need to have problems to solve and puzzles to solve in order to stay stimulated, in order to perform. Men are really made for that. And even tiny little things that he's able to do for you that you appreciate, whether it's bringing you a cup of coffee in the morning, or making sure that you're as comfortable as you can be on the couch when you're sitting down to watch a movie. He's going to like to figure these things out and problem solve and find ways to improve your life and your relationship if you do this correctly. So how do you do this? This is so important, girls, so really listen up. How do we do this without insulting him, humiliating him, shaming him, putting him down, or approaching this with a lot of masculine energy, like, I'm fine, I'll just take care of it myself? We are not commanding this man to do that. We are not commanding our man to take charge, to give us what we want, or else. We're inspiring him to enjoy a challenge, to enjoy the problem solving situation that he is in. And you play such an important role in a man's life as to how much he's going to perform in that way. And it does not come down to telling him what to do. So, first of all, we need to talk about when we're challenging a man. Number one is positive reinforcement. Number one first is saying, like, telling him how good it feels to the things that he's already doing right, and making sure that he knows that. So whether you're on your first date and he holds the door for you and you say, oh, that feels really nice. and you acknowledge that, he's going to do that over and over and over again in your relationship. And if you haven't been giving him positive reinforcement for a while, then you can absolutely start now with all those little things that he does, and experiment with appreciating it without saying thank you, and experiment with using feeling statements. So experiment with saying, it felt so good to hear your voice last night before I went to sleep. I just love it when we talk regularly. And watch him respond to that in a way that is so much better and satisfying for both of you than you saying, why didn't you call me last night? I expect that we talk to each other at least regularly or whatever. It's like, just try with the positive reinforcement. And he's going to want to rise and meet that and deliver over and over and over again. Why? Because it's going to make him feel good to feel appreciation from you and affection from you. So if you give him a kiss on the cheek before he goes on, runs some errands, or you are affectionate, when he does something right, you want to give him a hug, give him a kiss, touch him, and he is going to respond really, really well to that. So affection is awesome. It's really going to activate his inner hero. And this is really important to activate his inner hero, and we can do that through positive reinforcement. We can also do that by just asking for help, because again, he's going to want to help you because he's going to want to solve the problem, because that makes him feel good, especially when there's an award or payoff of appreciation or affection. So, you can even get to a point where you say, I need help paying the bills this month. Can you help me? Can you help, babe? I really need some extra help paying my bills this month. Could you help me? Could you find a way to help me out? Or, shit, my phone is broken. And I have just no idea what to do. And I was wondering if you could help, if I could ask for your help. If you say that to a man, he's gonna want to just try it. You're gonna see he's gonna start to want to actually figure it out for himself, instead of you saying, I paid the bills last month and you can never help me, and with a lot of blame and a lot of judgment and things like that, right? So we want to do positive reinforcement, noticing when he does something right, or if there's something that we're noticing, like it would feel good to walk into a clean kitchen in the morning after you cooked the night before. You could say something like, it just makes me feel so relaxed and fresh and good when I walk into the kitchen and there's just, it's clean because you woke up a little bit earlier to do that. That just means a lot to me. So you can talk about things in terms of how good they would feel, and in terms of him helping you with something, right? It makes me feel so special. I feel so excited when I walk into the kitchen and everything's clean in the morning, and it just helps me start my day off right and get my energy in the right place. And then I know I just show up as such a better person for you and at work and all the things and all. Or I feel really sexy when we go out on a date and I get to dress up a little bit. Now, how do you think he's going to try and solve that problem to help you feel sexy? Which is like the biggest payoff for a man. So, you can really be more, you can let your needs be known in a way that activates and inspires a man to do that. Even if it's not a good thing, even if it's like, oh, babe, the trash smells so bad, I just cannot go in there, even though I know it's trash day. And then he's gonna take out the trash. He's gonna feel better. You're gonna feel better. you're gonna feel better. You know, if he doesn't respond well to that, you know, if you say, if you're out on a first date with a man and he says, "Can we split the bill?" and you say, you know, I thought that this was a date. If we're just meeting as friends, yeah, sure, let's split the bill, but I was kind of thinking this was a date and it doesn't feel very sexy to pay on a date. And if he laughs at that or rolls his eyes, you know, pay attention to that. You know, get to a point where you have so much value and worth. You know that you hold so much value and worth that you don't have time for someone who's going to laugh and roll his eyes if you say, you know, it is really important for me one day to be a wife and have a family. You know, and if he rolls his eyes, if he laughs, you know, pay attention. It doesn't mean that he will never change his mind, especially if you're doing these tools. So, you know, it doesn't have to mean that you just like break up in that moment or anything. But if you're dealing with someone who's really self absorbed or immature or lazy, then you're just going to want to decide if you want to be with someone like that. And I also promise you that if you put a date on the calendar right now, 6 months from now, and you do these tools and you do positive reinforcement and you give him that payoff of affection and appreciation and admiration, you know, this is what we're going to talk about now. If you start doing those two things alone, you're going to start to notice positive changes in the next 6 months. So no matter how he's presenting now, he could improve if you can take responsibility for saying that you can improve in these areas too. And I found that this can really, really, you know, help a relationship even out of a sticky situation. Okay, so the payoff. So let's talk about appreciation, admiration, and affection. And, you know, the fact that, like, at this point, Sean just knows that anytime he sends me random money or you know, is you know, gonna drive the car and opens the door for me first and gets into the car, or if he, you know, makes a big deal out of my birthday or Valentine's Day or anniversary, I lay the appreciation on so thick for this man, and he knows that he is appreciated and he knows that he is loved and appreciated. And we even have now, you know, God, I've just come such a long way, you guys, but this man, he knows that he is loved and appreciated. And we even have a little jar in the bedroom where at the end of the day, if he's really done something really special for me that day, I write it down on a piece of paper and put it in this jar. And we have this jar. And then sometimes we'll go through and like look at the memories of the things that are really good memories and good deeds. And we'll go through them together and read them out loud. And this is like so much positive reinforcement for a man. You know, it's gonna make him feel really valued by you. So that is going to definitely show him that he will be valuing you as well. Okay. Okay. Affection, admiration, admiring him in front of your friends, admiring him on social media. You know, I'll make posts about Sean every once in a while, or I'll talk really good about him in front of our friends. Like it just makes them feel good, you know, and in public, I am really supportive and loving of my husband. And in private, if we have things going on, then, you know, that's when we can deal with those situations. But really out in front of other people, like he knows that he is respected and admired by me. And so that's really important. Affection, admiration, knowing that he's your hero, being able to kind of, even if he does something really small, you know, really appreciate him for that and bring out this hero complex. because the hero of the divine masculine and the hero's journey is absolutely beautiful. What he's able to achieve as he moves through challenges in life, becomes stronger, becomes the best version of himself. It's a really beautiful process to be a part of. Um, so so that's the second principle, really, is appreciation, affection, admiration. So you get it. You can tell me examples of little things that you do now with your partner or someone that you're dating, your husband, just to show a little bit more appreciation or affection. Physical touch is every man's first love language. I don't even know why they ask men what their love language is, because it's for sure physical touch. But also, yeah, get to know his other love languages and how he likes to be appreciated. Okay. And that means that you are still appreciating him for the things he does right, even when there are things that could be improved, he's not doing right, where he's really failing or falling behind or not showing up. You can still show him appreciation for the areas where he is, and where he's not, just let him figure it out and face the consequences of learning and figuring something out for himself. The more you step in and you become the problem solver, he's not going to learn, he's going to get bored, he's going to feel disempowered. And, I think that all men enjoy the thrill of developing their minds when they're really given the chance. And so let him be the problem solver. If he messes up, you don't have to appreciate when he messes up, but you do not have to insult him, humiliate him, put him down. He will get the picture just by your lack of response to something that he does, or if you sigh, or if you're yawning. These are all subtle signs, but the man gets it. He doesn't need the humiliation and the blame and that's making him even more dependent on you. That's making you into even more of a mother. And you do not need that, and he does not need that. Okay. So, okay. Let's talk about being in your feminine energy around your man, even if you're in your masculine energy when you're at work, or your masculine energy when you're with your friends. Even though I really encourage you to, if you're with your female friends, really be in your feminine energy. And if you're with male friends, practice being in your feminine energy. But you, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. Sorry, my notes just got a little bit scrambled here. Okay. Yes. So being in your feminine energy when you're around the man is going to make such a big difference in your life. So even if you're in masculine energy in other areas of your life, when you are with your man, oh, what's that? Oh my God, that's crazy. It's like a little beard. Oh my God, how did that even happen? That's crazy. Excuse me. That was crazy. Okay. Be in your body around a man. Practice being in your feminine energy around the man. It's the perfect time. It's the best opportunity to do so. And this means that you are making sure that you are in your feminine energy, and so you're not fully relying on him either to inspire the conditions for you to be in your feminine energy. Like, you're going to be in your feminine energy either way. It's not about feeling safe enough around him, or like you're going to practice being in your feminine energy around this man, because that is the only thing that's going to start to get things moving in the right direction for you guys in terms of him stepping more into his masculine energy. So that means that your priority is to open your heart and be a warm person, be a woman who's connected to your warmth and your heart, and take care of yourself physically. So take care of yourself around your cycle. Don't push yourself too hard when you're on your moon time. Take care of your feminine energy. Okay. Um, don't just wear old shorts and t-shirt to bed with your man. Be in your feminine energy. Have something cute to wear to bed. Put on some lotion before you go to sleep. Continue to prioritize your beauty and your well-being, regardless of what he's doing. You just need to be scheduling those things for yourself. You need to have the expectation around being able to do those things for yourself. You absolutely deserve that. It's helping the relationship be better. You add so much beauty, so much charm when you feel like you're your best self, you're feeling good in your body, whatever you need to do. If you need your skincare, if you need to work out or, have movement every day in your life to really take care of your body to look and feel your best. You are the prize. The feminine energy itself is the prize. Your feminine energy gets to be activated by things like being out in nature, having time to rest. That feminine energy is what's going to make you your best self and make you the prize. So you have to really carve out the conditions for you to be able to step more into that, to claim it more for yourself, regardless of what he's doing. Something else you can do is really stop talking about work, stop talking about problem solving together, like the little things that you have to do in the day. Start talking to him from your body, start using feeling statements, be in your feminine energy. Oh, it feels so good when you do that. Or, oh, babe, I'm feeling a little bit cold with, your windows down in the car and I'm feeling a little bit cold over here. I just feel so relaxed now that it's the end of my workday. Tell him how you're feeling. Speak from your body. This is how we stay in our feminine energy. You might even need to take some time away from him to create more of that polarity and some distance. Go on a girls' trip, go do something that you really love, something just for you, that lights you up, where he doesn't have to be there. It's something that you like to do. Maybe he doesn't like to do, but you love it and you want to go to this conference or you want to go to this place in the world. You want to go on a girls' trip. Give him some space to rediscover that masculine energy and that polarity. Give him some space. Give him some space to lean into you, to miss you, to think about you, create that magnetism again. And this is also going to be really important for mothers as well, to say that your world doesn't revolve around your man, just like it doesn't. I mean, with kids, it's a little bit different. I get it. But, don't make these aspects of who you are your entire personality, because you are so much more than that. We are all, as women, so faceted, and we need to advocate for the things in our life that are going to help us keep our mojo, even if that's time alone and away from the husband, away from the kids. Do not lose those things about you and be that person who at your funeral people say she was so selfless, she always put everyone else first and never did anything for herself. And do not be that woman, please. You need to keep your mojo and have the time and money and resources to invest in the things that make you feel sexy, that make you feel alive, that make you feel passionate about life. That is a non-negotiable. Okay, and if you need help from your man to make sure that that can happen, then you can just say something like, I notice that I am a better person in this relationship with you when I am going to the gym and I haven't had a gym membership in a while. And you can, make it clear to a man that there is a need that you have that is going to help you feel better in your life. To say, babe, it would feel really, really good if I had a budget for my hair, my skin, my nails. These things are really important. He should know that already, but in any case, like, you can phrase things in a way that inspire him to rise to a different level of providing for you, or to say it makes me feel really safe when um, we have a place to live that is close to nature. It makes me feel really safe and protected when you are so organized and you are so on top of things. And it makes me feel really unsafe when it's not. And all you have to say is that. And you do not have to berate him, and you do not have to judge him or bring him down. You just talk about how you feel and observe his reaction and see, is he rising to meet that next level version of himself over time after really using these tools, and just observe. You don't have to break his balls. If he's not the right man for you, there are many, many, many other men. Okay, that's another thing that is kind of hard to see, is like this belief system of it was so hard to meet someone like him. How am I going to meet anyone else like him? We've been through so much together. And that is a huge, massive limiting belief. Please be prepared to walk away from a relationship that is not providing, protecting, and pursuing you in the ways that you need to feel good. There will always be another man. There will always be another man. And I don't want to hear about where you live. I don't want to hear about how old you are. I don't want to hear about, what your kids are going to think. Or there is a person out there for you, and they are waiting for you, and it only needs to be one person that this universe, is able to connect you with, this one person who's gonna be able to rise, to that next level of his own embodiment, because he's a more conscious man and he's able to really appreciate what you bring into his life. And this is really about the fourth principle, which is staying high value and knowing your worth, knowing your value. Part of that is knowing that, at some point, if you need to walk away, you would, that there's always another man out there for you. If you are dating right now and you really like this guy, but he's not calling you back, there is always another man. There is always another man. There is always another man. There's always another man. That is, it might not happen immediately, but there's always another man waiting for you. And so you need to also know that about yourself, and know that your value and worth about yourself is that if you were to walk away, then there of course is a man out there who is willing to provide for you and willing to protect you and willing to pursue you in the ways that you deserve. So know that about yourself. Work on those subconscious belief systems, that self-worth, if that's feeling tricky for you. Stay high value. Stay high value in the way that you take care of yourself, in the way that you make time to do the things that you love. You make time to, develop your mind, develop your passions, to read the books that you want to read, take the courses that you want to take. You need to stay high value in terms of your vibration. So don't let him or anyone else or your job or whatever get you down. Really nourish your vibration, protect your vibration, do things that make you feel joyful, abundant, and carefree. If you are always in those really low vibrational emotions of fear and anxiety and scarcity, and you're in those low vibrational emotions, your low value emotions all the time around a particular man, then you might be better alone, and you might need time alone. And that's okay to give yourself that. But if you cannot hold the space for the relationship, or if you feel so like you are in a toxic situation that you cannot maintain your vibe, then you need to think about the alternative, which is doing the things that bring you joy, doing things that make you feel free and abundant, and putting yourself in a situation where you will be able to get yourself to that place, because that is absolutely key. A high value woman is a high vibrational woman, period. Do you have a juicy life? Are you doing things for yourself that you love to do? Like girl time, gym time, courses that interest you? Or are you really desperate and needy and clingy and need to be doing things with your man all the time and are constantly expecting him to fill your cup completely, which is just, no man is going to do that. You're going to need to get your mojo, your chi, your life force sometimes from things beyond the relationship. So you can't expect everything from your man. That's codependency. That's not a good place to be. Being high value means that you're done settling you're done for scrubs. You're done settling for unconscious men. You're done settling for narcissists. And you're willing to put boundaries in place in your love life, in your lifestyle, in terms of dating, in terms of what kind of energy you're going to allow into your inner circle. And let me tell you, your home is the most intimate space, and you need to have boundaries about how you expect that home experience to be for you. That is everything for you. And a high value woman is also willing to say sorry, to take accountability for when we have been more in our masculine energy, or we have put a man down, or where we have been clingy and needy. Are we willing to heal ourselves? Are we willing to take responsibility for where we acted out of line? Are we willing to say sorry when we've been insulting or really cold to a man, or really ungrateful? Can you heal? This is a very high value quality. Are you on a path of spiritual healing? Are you up leveling your emotional maturity, your emotional intelligence, your spiritual intelligence? Then you are a very high value woman if you are doing that. A high value woman has boundaries around who she's going to spend time around. The quality of the people that she's spending time around is everything. Are you willing to take responsibility for where you haven't been taking care of yourself and you've let yourself go, and you've chosen Netflix over going for a walk, going for a little walk, a romantic walk with your husband after dinner, or maybe lighting a candle and doing a tarot card pull for 20 minutes and like being in touch with your intuition. What are you doing instead? Where are you checking out? So a high value woman knows to take responsibility for these things. But I promise you that, and I know that when you are watching this, you are a high value woman. It's just about knowing it, remembering it. And I promise you that there will be a king who will come into your life and become curious about you. And he will stick around when he feels appreciated and admired, and you give him that affection and you challenge him to problem solve and to improve things in your life and to make you feel better and sexier and juicier and more like a queen. And you get to practice big time being in your feminine energy, practicing how much better it really does feel over time, how things work out for you so much more, seeing your man become more of that provider and protector role in the relationship to match the polarity over time. It feels so good. And staying high value is our job from day one, relationship or not, ladies. We are here to be high value queens who work on ourselves, who are passionate about life, who stay cute, who stay sexy, who stay fun, who stay warm. That is what we are about. That is the goddess who is in each and every one of us. So thank you so much for watching this episode, this masterclass of Bewitch. If you have further questions, please do feel free to DM me or email me, or put something in the group chat. I want to hear how these tools help you and work for you. And even if you feel like my relationship's pretty good, it's like an 8 out of 10 right now, I'm feeling really good about it, use these tools and watch it go to a 10 out of 10, and just love your life. So I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for learning with me, as I have also learned my lessons here, which is why I'm able to share them with you. So I'm sending much love, wishing you magic, miracles, all the things. I also highly encourage you to check out my online course, Mastering Your Limitless Potential, which is where I put together a ton of my most renowned tools for manifesting and shifting realities to your ideal reality, where you really feel that you are seeing your life improve in terms of love and money and career and impact and physical health, a living environment, all of the things. So if you're wanting to really expand from these energy techniques that are the feminine energy techniques into more manifestation techniques, laws of the universe, these other laws of the universe that help us create an entire life and lifestyle of abundance and unapologetic thriving and just being absolutely head over heels in love with life, then check out Mastering Your Limitless Potential. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Ciao for now, and talk to you soon.